Alright, I was literally just overthinking it quite a bit. All I do is just pull this vert out. That's about it. I was trying to be fancy, and that didn't call for that. So, now I'm going to add a little edge loop right there, and another one right there. I'm going to pull this vert out a little bit. Push these two back. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Now I'm going to do the duplicate selected loop, which just puts two loops around any line. That is under mesh tools, and if I could find it here. Here we go, offset edge loop is what it's actually called. So the offset edge loop tool, what it does is if you click on a line, it'll put two the exact distance away from each other on each side of it. So if you just hold the button and just move the mouse up and down, you can adjust the width of it. So I'm going to have it about right there, maybe. I'll do the same for this one. That one's a little off, but it's alright. I can just grab this one, go to slide edge, and push it down a little. There we go. I'm going to add a loop right there and right there. And that should be good. Yeah. Wait, I'm going to add a loop right here as well. Alrighty. So I'm going to add in a loop right along the middle here. And take these verts in the center here and pull them out. Now I'm going to take this line and that one all on each side and push them down a little. I'm going to do the same for the bottom as well. I'm going to push them up like so. Something like that. Now I'm going to add an edge loop in the center of each one of these. Grab these verts and push them in a little bit. Yeah, something like that. I'm actually going to take these. Oops. I'm just going to move them down just a little bit without doing my best not to break the shape. And that might be a little better. Yeah. That'll be alright. Just working on the shape. And these need to come down. Got a little issue over here. That should be alright. Not worried about it. I'm going to take these, I'm going to lower them a little bit so that it sort of tapers inward. Have that nice angle. I'm going to lower these two as well. And I'll do the same on the bottom. Then we get that nice tapered effect. Alright. Now let's see what happens if we take this line and try to round it just a little bit here. Pull it in just a little bit. And take that line, push it in, as well as that one, push it in a little. We'll take this through that maybe, push it in just a little bit. Just trying to round out the overall shape so it's not as boxy looking. Alright, I think it looks pretty good. Let's see what happens if you smooth it out a little bit. You get a little bit of smoothing issues going on. That's just because of these really hard lines here. So what we could do, adjust the angle a little bit, and then go in manually and smooth out the ones that you specifically want smoothed. Maybe take off some of the smoothing on this one. It's looking a little better. Do the same with this. At this point you're just sort of messing around with it to see what works. I mean, a little bit of, smoothing issues is fine when it comes to this type of stuff because it's going to be textured, and since we're putting a hand painted texture on it, there's not going to be too much issues. Like this looks fine the way it is. As far as smoothing is concerned, might be a little dark on this back area here. You can adjust as long as you don't have a lot of really dark black areas. It should be fine. Oops. I might go ahead and nope, that didn't work. That's good enough. Now I'm going to lower these a little bit. Do the same on the bottom, push them up. It's all just adjusting little things here and there. Until you get a shape that you're happy with. I think that's fine for now. You know what I might do is actually put one more edge loop in the center here. Right there. And you know, I'll put it on this side as well. Just give it a little bit more round so it's not as jagged in the center. That's looking better. Alright. Yep, that'll work. Alright, move that into place here. Make sure that the size is the right size. Looks like it might be a little bit thinner. Maybe a little bit thicker right here. And a little bit smaller. Alright, save it. Now for these up here, I'm going to change them a little bit because it doesn't look very efficient. At least not in the WoW art style sort of way. They don't tend to model all these tiny little bits and pieces. And I think it'll look better if we don't do that as well. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to go into the front view here. Go into verts. I'm going to connect this guy right there. I'm going to do the same down here. I'm going to move these verts just a little bit. Alright. So now I'm going to do the multiple split edge ring about right there. I'm going to adjust the verts in a second here. I'm just getting it somewhat where I want it. And I'm going to adjust them so that they better match the shape of the little support beams behind them. Or whatever you want to call them. Alright. So now, I'll take this edge, hold shift, and extrude it out. And you will see why in a second. Trying to match the shape a little bit here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Do the same down here. Oops. Now this one I'm not going to do. And reason for that is because I want this larger base element right here. Because that's in the concept. And what I'm going to be doing with these other ones is removing the actual mesh here that's behind them. I'm going to be turning this all into an alpha image. So this is all actually going to be painted, and the beams are going to be painted. So they're not actually going to be meshed out, whereas this one will be. I think it'll look better. I don't want to just have that whole base piece right there, that metallic piece, or I'm assuming it'd be metallic, as just a flat image. Have some sort of dimensionality to it. So now I'm going to take the center edge. Actually, let me go ahead and do the rest first. And since this is at an angle, we're going to need to adjust the verts from the side view as well. Because right now it doesn't perfectly match from the side. Damn it. There we go. Actually, it's not too bad. This one's a little off up here, but the other ones are pretty good. About right there, roughly. Yeah, that one doesn't look too bad. Alright. So I'm going to take this guy, delete him. This guy, delete him, and this guy, delete him. So now we're left with just this flat piece here. So what we're going to do is take this vert and this vert and take this vert and this one, him and these two. And we're going to pull them out. Yeah. Move this guy a little bit, as well as this one. I want this to be covered here. Cool. Let me pull this one out just a little bit as well. These very end verts. Alright. Soften it. And that's what we've got. So you have the shape there of the beams, but it's going to look better in the end. And yes, this back piece is technically transparent, depending on what game engine you put it into. Some allow backface calling, or some have backface calling, some don't. So, or backfaces. So what we're going to do is, since I'm going to be putting into Unity, it doesn't allow backfaces, or if it does, it does, but it sort of doesn't give, you know, a very good result. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to go to Mesh Display and reverse. And now you notice it's a little black there. But you push it out. Oops, no one. Push this guy out just a smidge, not even that much. Put about that much there. Now you're going to have two faces. I'm going to take these ones that were pushed out here. There we go. And there's a bunch of different ways to do this. I think this is the best way to show right now for this video. If you have a better way about doing it, let me know, because I think this is an okay way. Maybe not the most efficient, but it'll work. So now you have this sort of 3D thing, and you can notice the back sides here, but in the engine those back sides aren't going to be visible because I'm going to have it turned off. So no matter which side you look at, you'll be able to see the mesh. So that should be fine. Yeah, it should be alright. Alright, so I'm going to combine these. And I'm going to combine these. Make sure I have the right one selected. And delete this piece. And duplicate it. And flipper on the Z. Sounded weird. Alright. Put it into place. Yes, I know I can mirror it over, but I'm lazy. Even though this is probably taking more effort. Good enough. Alright. So I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to replace this thing up here with this more three-dimensional model one, because that looks like it's more of a three-dimensional object than just a flat couple planes. So I'm going to separate this, delete that, duplicate that guy, rotate him. You know what, I actually might flip him on the Z as well. Nope. Should probably freeze transformations first. There we go. Wasn't sure if that would work or not. And it didn't. But now it looks fine. Yeah, that'll be alright. I could, you know, make this side a little bit more evened out to meet the other one. So let's go ahead and just do that here. Let's take these verts, make it a little bit smoother on this side. looks a little better. And you can better shape this however you want. I think for instructional purposes, this will be fine. If you want to fix it, go ahead and fix it a little bit more. It's not really bad topology, it's just a little bit of moving verts around to better smooth that shape. Alright, that's fine. I'm going to move this guy up. Sorry. Okay, that's fine. I'm not touching anymore. Although, famous last words, I am going to adjust the sides up here to better fit what the concept looks like. Now that has 3 beams in the center there. I think we're fine with 2. Not worried about it. Yep, that's fine. Save it. Cool. So now we've fixed my biggest issues with that stuff. Except, oh, I forgot to do something here. I forgot to adjust. Go to mesh, separate. Forgot to move these guys to go around this beam here. All right. Now we're good. Cool. All right. I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be right back.